Hello. As many of you know, hello. As you know, we are able to use different versions of the Bible in our personal study to help make passages clear, that the doctrine becomes more clear, phrases are um, more relevant, or at least easier to understand. And so in the church's handbook of instructions, where it talks about this, it has a link to this topic on the Holy Bible. And in it, we have this instruction. Generally, members use a church preferred or church published edition of the Bible in church classes and meetings. This helps maintain clarity in discussions and consistent understanding of doctrine. Other Bible translations may also be used. It goes on to say that some individuals can benefit from different versions because it makes the passages more clear. And it can be difficult to understand, and so it would be appropriate to use a simpler Bible translation in those cases. However, we do still want to help our students become competent in using the preferred version of the Bible for us. And so those preferred versions are down through here. You can get one. You can see what it is for English. The preferred versions are, of course, the King James Version, and the church's edition of the King James Version specifically, because it has footnotes that do not exist elsewhere, especially the Joe Smith translation. All of those help to make the translation clearer. But if you feel like a student may need this in their personal study, or if you want to use in your personal study, this is great. In class, they can even use it. I would probably use it more as a resource, as a, hey, this verse is really hard to understand, and if the footnotes don't make it clear, if the prophetic commentary available doesn't make it clear, then let's look at some other versions here and compare it. And that can help a little bit. We just want to also be cautious or mindful of the fact that different groups publish Bible according to their understanding sometimes. So when they're taking the Greek or the Hebrew or the King James Version and trying to make it a more literal translation or something more applicable for them, they may misinterpret certain doctrine. And so when you come across those discrepancies, compare that with the Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, Pearl of Great Price, prophetic teachings, to make sure that's clear. But these are available to use. Now, if you want to look at some apps or websites, there are several out there. I'll show you a few. This one is called the Bible Gateway. We've got Bible Study Tools. Parallel Plus will give dozens in a row that you can choose and select from. There's also Blue Letter Bible. What's this one? This one is Bible Hub. And so all of them have the options, and typically there's a search bar somewhere on it. If we go back to the main page for Bible Gateway, we can just type in a search bar, and we want the book of Job. I can select what version I want, but here in the search results is Job chapter 1. That's fine. I can move on from there. And so it gives me Job chapter 1 in the King James Version. But then there's usually some sort of icon that looks like this that will provide the parallel. So when I click on it, I now can choose another version here, and they've got dozens to choose from. And so you can, let me see if I get that to show up, all of these different versions. Again, you can find which ones the church is okay with. That can help. You can put 20 of them there if you want. It's just meant to be helpful. And so there's another resource that you can use, or your students can use outside of class if they want to try to a clearer understanding. But again, we don't want to abandon the King James Version. We would very much like them to understand the King James Version and become competent in the King James Version because of its footnotes, because of its accuracy. But these other ones are definitely okay to use to help us with that. So hopefully this helps.